Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes.
It's right here over Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Okay, you see it? You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that, bro? Did it just get smaller? Bro, what?
Above the ocean, and it was low, very low, but so bright and so clear, and it was huge. Like when you...
I'm concerned. I issued a letter to ask for more information, and I think there should be a lot more transparency about that.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. My goodness, looking at this, and we're taking it seriously. We
All right, that's a little intro. I think everyone could hear me. So we're just going to go through some of the breaking news of the day, some of the interesting videos. Let me know if you guys could hear me. Yeah, whoever that reporter was for president. I'm going to show first. So first, actually, we're going to go to that reporter part because Kirby, and let's share my screen here. Kirby, the White House press secretary, he kind of pissed a lot of people off when he gave his little spiel the other day. So real quick, let's go ahead and share this. Just get a little reminder of what was done. Let's see. That's it. Yeah, so we're just gonna watch this because today he was on a bunch of shows, or he was getting kind of roasted about it. So we're gonna just rewatch this exchange because a lot of people felt like he downplayed it. Yeah, let's watch this.
John, on the drones, does the U.S. government have any of its own imagery or video of these systems?
I'm not aware that we have U.S. government produced imagery ourselves, but as I said in my opening statement, we have certainly done thorough analysis of the existing imagery.
Like from people's cell phones that we're seeing? Basically, with what you're looking at, how can you credibly tell people that there is no public safety threat, there's no national security threat, that there's no reason to believe that a foreign government is involved?
Because the analysis thus far in an investigation that is ongoing has not revealed any national security or malicious intent or criminal activity. But Jackie, I would remind you, we're at the beginning here, not the end. There's a lot more work to be done, and we're working closely with state and local authorities to gain more information. I would argue that we're moving pretty well here with a sense of energy to try to figure out what we can do to learn more about this. We're still in the middle of an ongoing investigation, and I'm up here explaining to you and let you know what we know so far, what we believe so far. If information comes to light that changes that characterization, then my goodness, we'll be the first ones to let you know. But right now, there's just no indication that this is some sort of foreign malign activity or, in fact, even criminal.
Well, what I don't understand is, this has been happening since late November. I don't know that the law enforcement officials or residents in New York and New Jersey, or even the Democratic senators who wrote to Director Ray Mayorkas and the FAA administrator today would think that this has been handled with a sense of urgency. But that being said, has the president or the Secretary of Defense issued any guidance to NORDCOM or military installations to act on these systems if they're deemed to be a threat in any way? And what's the benchmark for that determination?
So 2 thoughts. First of all, you're right. Late November. It is now the 12th of December. I think it shows that we're moving on with this, and we're going to stay on it. So I want to disabuse you of any notion that we're not taking this seriously, because we are. I can also tell you that if the president, as commander-in-chief, believed, based on the information that he'd been given, that there was a national security threat at play here, or even a public safety threat at play here, he would issue the appropriate directives to not only law enforcement, but perhaps even the military if that was needed. I want to go back to something I said at the top. There has been no evidence of any of this activity in or near restricted spaces.
That's not what the senators said in the letter. They said, in fact, that they've been observed maneuvering their critical infrastructure, sensitive locations, including reservoirs and military installations, and cited concern from law enforcement about public safety threats because a medevac helicopter was prevented from transporting a seriously injured patient for care because of the presence of these drones.
I stand by my opening statement.
Wow.
Can you make that make more sense?
You guys catching this? So we have letters from senators saying these things are flight safety hazard, they're real, they're not planes, and then we have the White House press secretary saying, like, basically just lying, right? Or just kind of like, I don't even know what to call it, bossing say vibes of like, this isn't even happening. You know what? I should totally get that that thing in here. there's no whatchamacallit, bossing say. That's what it feels like. Let's go back a little bit.
Near restricted spaces.
That's not what the senators said in the letter. They said, in fact, that they've been observed maneuvering their critical infrastructure, sensitive locations, including reservoirs and military installations, and cited concern from law enforcement about public safety threats because a medevac helicopter was prevented from transporting a seriously injured patient for care because of the presence of these drones.
I stand by my opening statement.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
Certainly, I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, my goodness, looking at this, and we're taking it seriously. We understand that people are concerned. We understand that they got questions. We got questions too, and we're working hard to get the answers to that. What I can tell you as we sit here today, at 2:16 in the afternoon on the 12th, is we haven't seen any indication thus far that there's a public safety risk, and we haven't seen.
The government know what they are.
We are still investigating this. I can't tell you definitively. I cannot characterize for you definitively what these sightings are. I can just go back to what I said at the opening. We've looked at the imagery. We can't corroborate some of the reported sightings through our own expert analysis using sophisticated detection techniques, but that doesn't mean that we're putting our pen down here this afternoon and calling it a day. We're going to keep at this.
What are you doing now?
We are continuing to investigate it. As I said.
Oh yeah, that got a lot of people angry. Let's see. Here's a New York mayor who was pretty upset about that. So watch this. New York congressman, New York mayors, a bunch of people in New Jersey. Sorry, I'm preparing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes too here. But yeah, it's kind of a dismissal, right? She said right there, like, all these senators signed this thing directly contradicting what you're saying, and he was just like, just my opening statement. Here we go.
So, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's dozens of alleged drones spotted across New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and it's stoking a lot of fear among the officials and the residents there. The unexplained phenomena had a lot of people just kind of.
Real quick, I wanted to shout out to you because I forgot to shout out the super chat. Jake, not from State Farm. What if all this was a ploy to just ban DJI drones from China? I hope this doesn't mess up my drone business. Yeah, I hope it doesn't mess up your drone business either. But this whole thing is very, very crazy.
scratching their heads at first, but now the rise in sightings is starting to spike concerns.
And I get it, right? ABC News cannot confirm what these videos show, but dozens of New Jersey residents have recorded unidentified aircrafts flying through the sky since mid-November, including Mayor Sam Morris of Mine Hill, New Jersey. He's one of several people to capture all of this on video, and he's also part of the coalition of 19 Morris County mayors and elected officials who are now demanding answers and action from federal officials.
Mayor Sam Morris of Mine Hill, New Jersey, joins us now. All right, Mayor, just a short bit ago, John Kirby did give an update on these sightings during the White House press briefing. Let's listen together and get your thoughts.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. We have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
Wow, man, you guys are all just misidentifying airplanes. Crazy. We're at like nearly a month of this happening, right? With like hundreds of reports, like pretty much like every night there's new stuff going on. It reminds me so much of Colares, where there's like police officers, mayors, a lot of the senators speaking on this stuff have seen it themselves. I think this guy, we're probably going to hear something from him. Let's see.
Manned aircraft being operated lawfully. All right, Mayor, do you believe him?
So what that means, he's saying that we're all seeing small planes, right? That's my take on that.
Yes.
I have to tell you, that's incredulous. I'm incredulous about that. That is ridiculous. I would invite Mr. Kirby to Mine Hill. Come on out, Mr. Kirby, and let's go on out one night about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'll go out behind my town hall, and you can count them with me all night. I have a report that over here in Randolph, New Jersey, off Canfield Avenue, that over the valley, which is the town of Roxbury, I have a credible reference over there, a resident over there who told me there's anywhere from 30 to 40 a night, and every night they're in the same place doing the same things. So I have to say, Mr. Kirby, that's a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of skeptical, just given the videos, and you're taking them. You're there. So tell me, first, a couple things. First, do they move?
Here we go. Oh, shoot. Sorry. There we go.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se.
What are you talking about? Where do you think all the refugees come from?
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
We're back. Just had to add it real quick, but that's what it feels like. Like, how is he? And the mayor, what is this? The mayor, right? Mine Hill mayor. He's just like pissed. He's like, how the hell can you say that? Let's go back a little bit.
I have to tell you, that's incredulous. I'm incredulous about that. That is ridiculous. I would invite Mr. Kirby to Mine Hill. Come on out, Mr. Kirby, and let's go on out one night about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'll go out behind my town hall, and you can count them with me all night. I have a report that over here in Randolph, New Jersey, off Canfield Avenue, that over the valley, which is the town of Roxbury, I have a credible reference over there, a resident over there who told me there's anywhere from 30 to 40 a night, and every night they're in the same place doing the same things. So I have to say, Mr. Kirby, that's a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of skeptical, just given the videos, and you're taking them. You're there. So tell me, first, a couple things. First, do they move like planes, or drones move differently than planes? We got a feel for that. And second, Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal says the government should shoot one down. What do you think of that?
I'm starting to lean that way myself. I can tell you, and neither of you are old enough to remember the game Pong, but when we were kids, Pong came out, and it's the ball goes back and forth and back and forth. This is the same thing. You look up in the sky and you see them, and some of them are just hovering and sitting. Sorry, that's not a manned small airplane. It's not a Cessna. And they go, in that video that you have of mine, over the east part of Mine Hill in the town of Dover, New Jersey, there's one drone sitting still, and it's pretty bright, and the others are going back north and south in an exact pattern. You can tell that they have GPS points programmed into them because they don't deviate. They go back and forth over the same thing. For him to say, when he says we don't have information that these are credible threats or various things, it's because we have no information. So if you have no information, you certainly can say whatever you want, about what's being presented to you. That's really insulting to all the people here who are living through this.
Well, you are definitely not insulting us because Terry and I both played Pong growing up. Our parents couldn't afford a Pong. I had to go to the neighbor's house to play Pong.
That's your takeaway, ma'am? That's your takeaway from everything he's just said is we're going to talk about Pong and how we love Pong. Okay, let's see where she goes with this. Okay.
But I get the point that you're making because it's a very slow back and forth of one, ball to the paddle and to the other paddle. Anyway.
Methodical, very methodical. Very methodical.
So let me, so you're still very skeptical. You're not believing it. So here's my question. What do you
I like Pong. Like, okay, great. Awesome, lady.
want done? What do you want to see? What would relieve your fears, your residents' fears, and just kind of, cause everybody to relax?
Well, one thing that I would say to of course I represent this town, but I'm with all the other mayors in Morris County. To be honest with you, there were 250 mayors at the assemblage yesterday at the state police headquarters. I would say to the people of Mine Hill and the state of New Jersey, Morris County, that if these people wanted to do something, whoever's controlling these, if they wanted to do something to us, they would have done it. These things are what we call extremely obvious. They come out at night. Now people are reporting they run until daylight, but they generally were going wherever they were going by 11 or 12 o'clock at night, midnight. And they want to be seen. They're not hiding. They're almost taunting us or flaunting the fact that they're bright and they're out there and they don't care that they're seen. So if they were up to something bad in terms of harm, they would have done it. They wouldn't have turned all their lights on. They would have just come over and done something. There are farming drones that can spray farm chemicals, and people are afraid that that's what's going on here. People go on the internet and find those things. But if they wanted to do that, so I think people can relax about some kind of imminent threat, at least in my opinion.
There's that word again, imminent.
The fact that you have something 100, 200, 300 pounds over your head, and could possibly fall out of the sky, depending on a malfunction, that itself is enough of a threat. What I would like to see happen today is I'd like to see Michael Whit.
Yeah, this is a great point that I've been highlighting on like Twitter and in Spaces and stuff that Blue Jasmine brings up. Didn't the 9/11 reports conclude that this lack of communication between government agencies was what caused the oversight? To be acting like this 23 years later is pretty damning. Yeah, I totally agree, because you got to think, too, it's the same airspace, right, where 9/11 happened, like New Jersey, and these things are also reported over in New York. We're about to play a statement from a New York congresswoman in response to what Kirby said. And, yeah, guys, I'm telling you, it's not a good look. Like, I'm sure, we'll go into it a little later, but my personal suspicion is that the U.S. military has already tried to engage these and failed. That's my take on it. We'll see. We'll continue along here. But, yeah, this is the airspace is bad enough, but literally the airspace around 9/11 where there was all this like hoopla and like reforms to like right that wrong that allowed that to happen is insane.
Whitaker, the administrator of the Federal Aviation Administration, come out with a statement. We don't need the White House to do this. If he's in that role, he understands aeronautics and airplanes and space and everything else better than the White House. I'd love to see him come out with a statement and say, hey, we're looking into this and taking it seriously. Because what I just saw Mr. Kirby say is he thinks we're all, confused. I'll just be polite.
Well, there's nothing confusing by the fact that you're seeing
sanity. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for 1 second while I pull up the next thing. I also added this to the mix of little GIFs that we got. Let's see. Or not GIFs, whatever you want to call these things. Oh yeah, not to be dramatic, but it kind of feels like that. Whatever, I mean, unless it's us, I hope it's not us, and hopefully I'm not spreading misinformation on Corbell's nodulus.
Let's let them talk. I want to see who makes up fake stories and propagates them so I can catalog like Santa all their names and know if they're naughty or nice so I can.
Yes, we are in the middle of this crazy stuff, and it is hard to hopefully not be sharing fake stories or whatever. But let me, where did I want to go next? I wanted to go with Congresswoman Mayorkas, who is in Brooklyn, I believe. I think I have that somewhere. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here we go. Let me make sure I'm presenting my screen. We're doing it live, people. All right. Okay. So here's some of this lady. She's been kind of vocal on this early on. Early on, only like a week ago. I feel like so much has happened. So much has been happening the past few weeks.
This could be a direct threat right now, and the government saying that there is no known threat doesn't mean that there is not a threat. And I go back to the public safety issue, because even if this is a commercial operator, which, you know, they're saying they don't have information that it is, there could be some type of accident that takes place or an explosion. We don't know what's in these drones, or, you know, there's a certain type of batteries, or and I have to just say that this is unconscionable to me that the FAA is not putting flight restrictions right now, particularly over sensitive facilities. We have these drones flying over the Verrazano Bridge, which connects U.S. Coast Guard base Fort Wadsworth in Staten Island, and then the U.S. Army installation in Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn. And these things are flying over like nothing. And they're also going over power plants and other critical facilities, even one of President Trump's homes. They put flight restrictions there, by the way, in Bedminster. They should be doing the same. So they have the ability to crack down on this today, and they're just not doing it.
Okay, one more quick thing. Brett Velikovich is awesome on this topic. Just roll this with Laura Ingraham last night, what he said now.
The technology exists to stop this. We just don't have it in the U.S. right now. I don't care what they tell you. I can tell you 100% the U.S. government does not have the properly needed counter-drone systems and detection devices.
This has been happening for a month, guys. Not a month yet, totally. We're like 5 days, I think, from a month. I think the 18th or 19th is when they really start off. But if you want to include the UK, if you want to include Langley, it's been over a year, but in earnest, about a month, and they can't detect these things. And let's play my little intro thing again too, just so we could get a refresh over some of the statements that have been going around before we continue along here. But just remember, our top agencies have all been investigating this for a month.
U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go.
A month. Yes, a month. All right, let's continue along with this.
Widely spread over these areas of interest that are truly capable of defeating the global drone threats we face. There's threats out there. We got to focus money in the right places.
He's not wrong about that. Here's what I feel. I don't feel at harm. I mean, if this thing was firing at us, it'd be a whole different deal here. But I would like to know what the harm is in letting us know what it is. Last comment on that.
You're exactly right. People want answers. We just want transparency. We need our government to be straight with us. We feel like we're in, characters in the War of the Worlds or an episode of the Jetsons, and that is not right. The public needs to be made aware of what is happening and just tell it to us straight.
Yeah. Anything less than real answers is no good for you, as you write at foxnews.com. Thank you, Congress.
All right. And then so we got all those little responses to Kirby. Let's like I said, we're doing it live here, y'all. So here we go. He got kind of grilled today on Fox News. Let's see. So yeah, after Kirby's like initial statements yesterday, which already feel like a week ago, still no Joe Biden, by the way. But that actually might be a good time to cut to this really quickly. I guess here's Donald Trump today on Truth Social. Yeah, you can see that. Good. Mystery drone sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening with our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Or without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know, and now. Otherwise, shot them down. Donald J. Trump. Potential intergalactic war with the typo. I also got this. Seems relevant. Let's see.
The LAPD is asking Los Angelinos not to fire their guns at the visitor spacecraft. You may inadvertently trigger an interstellar war.
All right. So yes, Donald Trump is advocating for shooting him down, which again, I think we'll talk about it a little later, but I think that's already been attempted. Let's see. And that's not official reporting, by the way. That's just yeah.
White House National Security Communications Advisor and
so yeah, here's Kirby again. Remember the day after yesterday when he had that exchange with the reporter, which was like, "What? You're not making any sense." Here he is today, because he got kind of he pissed a bunch of people off with that statement. I heard like probably at least 10 different like senator, Congress level retorts to his statements, because yeah, a bunch of people are seeing stuff and they basically just said, "Oh, you're only seeing airplanes, like calm down, mass hysteria."
Assistant to the president. John, good to have you with us. What do you make of the reaction? A lot of people were unhappy with that comment that you made yesterday and felt like you were, telling people that they were nuts or that they didn't know what they were seeing with their own eyes.
No, not at all, Martha. That's the farthest thing that I would ever do. I was simply reiterating what the FBI and what the Department of Homeland Security have relayed to us about what they've been able to corroborate. And we haven't been able to corroborate everything. I said many of the corroborated sightings have turned out to be piloted aircraft. I didn't say all of them. And what I said was those are the ones we were able to corroborate. There's certainly ones that we have not been able to, and we don't know the answer to it. And I strongly recommend that for folks that are seeing these things and documenting them to share that as they can with Department of Homeland Security and the FBI.
All right, well, let's
the
do that. Let's share it with you right now. Let's put up this photo. This is the close-up one. Here we go. This is in Bernardsville, New Jersey.
I love that this lady had the pic ready to go. She's like, let's do it right now, actually, Kirby. We got the photo right here. Let's look at it together.
So, John, are you able to see this photo?
No, ma'am.
You don't have a monitor there?
No, actually, I turned the monitor off.
I can't see the photo, ma'am. Sorry. Is he really? I haven't watched this yet, so we're live reacting. Wow, this is hilarious.
Distracts me, so I didn't see
all
it.
right. Well, you'll have to take a look at it after, but I can describe it to you. It is large. It has a white bar that goes through the middle. The right-hand side is half lit up white on the top and red on the bottom. The other side is green. So what would that, you're a former military person yourself. You're an admiral. You're the White House National Security Communications Advisor. I'm sure you have seen some of these images. So what is that we're looking at?
It's difficult for me to tell you, Martha. We don't really know. It is possible that some of these things could be commercial drones, developed for commertional purposes. It's possible that they could be owned by private citizens.
But why don't we know, John? That's the point. Why doesn't the United States government know? It seems silly. I mean, it feels a lot like the Chinese spy balloon. It was like, oh, we don't know. It's not a problem. Then what we watched it go all the way across the country, and we kept hearing, we're not really sure where it came from until we saw it popped and, floated down over the ocean.
That's not quite how it went. We were pretty honest with the American people that we knew it was Chinese and we knew that where it was going to go. And we were pretty comfortable given the analysis that.
Ooh, interesting. The way he kind of to me, this makes me think even more that they have no idea what the hell these are. AK, it's UFOs, not human intelligence. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just leaning there right now. One of the many possibilities, maybe it's China, but the way he's like, no. Then we were doing this right now, but I don't know about right now though. Let's see.
The United States government, no, it seems silly. I mean, it feels a lot like the Chinese spy balloon. It was like, oh, we don't know. It's not a problem. Then we watched it go all the way across the country, and we kept hearing, we're not really sure where it came from until we saw it popped and, floated down over the ocean.
That's not quite how it went. We were pretty honest with the American people that we knew it was Chinese and we knew that where it was going to go. And we were pretty comfortable given the analysis that there wasn't going to be an intelligence threat by it.
Like maybe I'm just looking too into it because I'm like all on edge about this bullshit. But the way he's like, we were honest then, kind of makes it seem like he's like saying we're not being honest now. I don't know. One more time. Let's see. I don't want to.
Over the ocean.
That's not quite how it went. We were pretty honest with the American people that we knew it was Chinese and we knew that
Maybe not. Maybe
where
I'll
it was
look
going to
into it.
go. And we were pretty comfortable given the analysis that there wasn't going to be an intelligence threat by it. And we shot it down once it was over safe waters and wasn't going to hurt anybody. But back to this. Why don't we know? I wish I could tell you exactly why we don't have an answer for you here in the afternoon on the 13th of December, but I can tell you that we are working on it very, very hard to know because we want to answer those questions the same as those folks in New Jersey want answers to them. And we are working on this very, very hard. We are now applying. There was an interagency conversation this morning about this topic where we have now decided to employ some additional technology to New Jersey and some additional personnel to try to get a better sense of what these things are. And as I said yesterday, Martha, as soon as we know, we're going to.
No, I hear you. This is shocking. I got to tell you, this is shocking. Okay. And I'm not the only person who feels this way. This was happening at Langley a month ago. Okay. These people are not crazy. They're seeing these things with their own eyes. This is not normal behavior. They are not planes that are coming in one direction and they're heading into Newark Airport and then they're landing. Okay. We spend $824 billion on defense. We have the greatest intelligent capability in the world. So how can you stand there and say to the country right now, gosh darn, we just don't know what these are?
Because I'm not going to lie to you or to the American people. And I'm not going to say we know something when we don't.
This lady is absolutely killing it. And this guy is going full.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se.
What are you talking about?
And we would never, ever stoop to think that an American citizen was crazy or nuts because of what they're seeing and what they're documenting. We're taking that imagery seriously and we're doing the best we can to analyze it. And we encourage people to come forward if they have additional sightings and imagery. We want to do the best we can to triangulate it. But I'll be gosh darn if I'm going to stand up here and make up stuff that I don't know to be true.
We don't want you to make up anything. Do you know and you can't say? Can you tell me that?
No, I'm telling you, Martha, I'm telling you, we don't.
You don't know.
We can't corroborate every single sighting. Some of them we have.
His job is basically to lie, right? For the White House, to make the White House look good, despite whatever bullshit's happening.
Of them, and we're working hard to do that. We know people are afraid of it. We know people have concerns. We have those same concerns.
Yeah, because they're flying over your house, and it sounds like there are motorcycles landing on your roof. So let me ask you this: one, person who watched this online said they think it's a Pterodynamics Transwing Drone XP4, which is being developed by the U.S. Navy as a recon and logistics drone capable of picking up and dropping off packages between land and moving ships in high seas and winds. They're suggesting it's an American company. We asked the company. They said we can't speculate on the origin of the drones that are flying over New Jersey. So is that an avenue that has been inspected? Is this a private company that is practicing something? And what wouldn't they have to clear something with somebody to have this kind of activity?
It could very well be, as I said, these could be commercially developed drones of some kind.
Why not just take one down and figure out what's going on?
Well, the idea of taking something down, again, you want to worry about public safety. First of all, we don't have enough conclusions to take that kind of a policy action. But let's just assume for a minute, Martha, that we did. I mean, you're not going to want to shoot something down where it could hit somebody's house or hurt somebody.
Well, the Coast Guard says that there are 30 of them following one of their ships in the ocean. So would that work?
I mean, again, we have to develop the policy options based on.
I'm just going to play my little montage again there, just to remind everyone of all the other stuff that's been said about this.
U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
That's the FBI representative who's been out there. The FBI has been on this case since I think the first week of December, like the very, very end of November. And this just happened like 2 days ago or so. Or no, maybe 3 or 4 days ago now at this point. So yeah, the FBI looking into what's flying in their domain, which is the American skies, after a month nearly. Has no idea. Crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12.
I'll play the whole thing in there, but just a little reminder of just some of the crazy stuff that's going on here. All right.
What we know we're dealing with here, and we just don't know enough to make those to take those kinds of actions. But my goodness, we're going to do everything we can to find out, and we're going to share as much as we can. I understand it's frustrating for folks.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for us. We want to know as well.
What does President Biden say about it?
He also has tasked the team to look into this and do.
Biden, over under. Where do you guys think Joe Biden is right now? I low-key think this motherfucker might, like, at least his family, dude. Is Hunter Biden in the nuke den right now? Is Hunter Biden in the underground bunker just doing drugs right now? I wouldn't be surprised. This is not normal, guys. And they're not just, like, they're flying over our military stuff, too. They're sizing us out. They're whatever it is. Whatever it is. Everybody put where you think Biden. Everybody put where you think Joe Biden is the president, and where you think Hunter Biden is right now as we speak on what is this a Friday night. Dangerous. Might get some dangerous replies for Hunter, but I really wouldn't. I would imagine. Okay, and here's something else I've heard through the grapevine. I've heard that some people in the know within New Jersey, like I don't know, like military people or people that work with like nuclear stuff, are like leaving. I'm not trying to add to my hysteria or anything, but I just heard that. I don't know. Thought I'd put that out. Maybe after this, we'll play Julian Dorey's clip because he kind of calms things down a bit. But we'll just run this out a bit. Here we go.
To be energetic in doing it, to try to get answers. He saw some of these images yesterday. He has talked to his team, including his top leaders, including at the Defense Department.
Have you called in like AI experts or said like, why don't we ask Elon Musk what he thinks, or brought in outside experts?
We're working really hard right now inside in the interagency, and certainly supporting the FBI and DHS as they investigate this. And if we need to have additional conversations with people outside the lifelines, we certainly will do that. But I want to make sure I don't get ahead of the investigators and what they're doing.
It just seems weird. I mean, people, they're low. They fly fairly low, some of these. It just, I think, is amazing that the White House has no idea what's going on. I think that makes people feel really unsettled. In New Jersey, they sent out an intelligence bulletin, I should say, issued in December of 2024 with recommendations for encountering downed UAVs. And it says a downed or landed drone should not be approached. It says request hazardous materials response unit or local hazmat team. And then it says request the nearest bomb squad. Do you agree with those recommendations if one of these things comes into someone's house?
You guys hear that? And I think I posted that. Why don't we go ahead and show that real quick? Yeah, so this was circulating. Just give me one moment to find it. So what Homegirl's reading from. So much stuff's been happening. It's crazy. Okay, here we go. So this is what I believe she was referring to. And it says intelligence bulletin, fire threat task force. And somebody posted this on Reddit being like, my uncle who works at Nintendo also works at New Jersey Fire Department, and they got this. And I don't think this was meant to be public, but if the lady on Fox News is reporting it, we're going to talk about it too. Recommendations for encountering down UAVs issued December 2024. Overview. The New Jersey Division of Fire Safety has developed several guidelines when encountering down unmanned aerial systems, UAS, in collaboration with the New Jersey State Police and FBI Newark office. Downed or landed drones should not be approached. It's pretty interesting. Reminder, there's hundreds of sightings over New Jersey. This has been going on for over a month. This is what they're saying. Utilize the Emergency Response Guidebook, Guide 111, to establish isolation and evacuation distances, 330 feet in all direction initially. So they want to set up a perimeter immediately. If you are in New Jersey, you're to immediately set up a perimeter around these things and not let anyone go near it. Fire service members should utilize full PPE with SCBA, so protective personal equipment, when establishing, I don't know what this one is, when establishing the isolation and evacuation distances, and not re-enter the zones once established. Let's continue along here, just checking audio's good. Hazardous materials response teams should approach the incident as an unknown and follow established environmental monitoring procedures as such, to include radiation monitoring. I feel like this is a wink, wink, nudge, nudge here. They're like, they don't want to say like, hey, this might be a freaking UFO. So like, hey, just follow those procedures. You remember the ones that also include the radiation? You remember that one? Yeah, follow those procedures, bud. Request the nearest bomb squad. Boom. Be aware that electronic devices and two-way radio systems may malfunction in the immediate area. Wow. So this is actually an official report now confirming something that we've been hearing. Let me. Oh wait. Okay, yeah. Let me just play. So that's interesting that they're saying that, because this is another video that came out tonight. We're kind of bouncing all over the place tonight. But this is apparently somebody filmed this. Shoot. Okay. Share this tab instead. Hopefully you guys could see that. Let me double check. Boom, boom. Okay, yeah. So somebody filmed this at the time. Apparently they were driving under it, and this is what they heard. Okay, and then I wanted to pull up something else too. I wanted to pull up this one report where, okay, yeah, here we go. Show this tab instead. I think you guys could see that. Go full screen. So this is another report, and the reason it's interesting is because now this is in an official bulletin that these things are interfering with electronics nearby, right? So that's a next level thing, is it not? Is interfering with electronics not a next level thing? Let's watch this report. This is early on. This is about a week or two ago.
So residents in Morris County tell me this has been happening every single night with the exception of Thanksgiving over the past few weeks. One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times. Then they say the clock went back to normal after they drove off. Witnesses also talk about the size of these drones. Some say they can be as big as a small car. Despite the growing concern, though, Morris County officials insist, quote, there continues to be no known threat to public safety. But residents tell Fox they're becoming more worried. The FAA is continuing to temporarily restrict flights over Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster and the Picatinny Arsenal military base. But authorities in Morris County this morning say they have no new information to share as the mystery continues.
So yeah, this is about a week or two ago. Let's just watch this one again, because this is fascinating. And again, this all ends up fake. Don't crucify me. We're in the middle of it. We're going to cover it. We're back to this. So yeah, now the reason why I find that interesting is because right here, it says, beware that electronic devices and two-way radio systems may be malfunctioning in the immediate area. This is a law enforcement incident. Extinguish any fire and secure the perimeter. Suspicious activity with possible nexus to terrorism, targeted violence, or other related activities should be reported immediately per existing protocols. Activity can also be reported 24/7 to NJO, blah, 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 blah. So there's that. That's interesting. Let's go back to this interview where she brings up that stuff. Sorry, that was maybe a little bit of a sidebar, but I found that interesting. So, okay, here we go. I think you're good. Oh.
Makes people feel really unsettled. In New Jersey, they sent out an intelligence bulletin, I should say, issued in December of 2024 with recommendations for encountering downed UAVs. And it says a downed or landed drone should not be approached. It says request hazardous materials response unit or local hazmat team. And then it says request the nearest bomb squad. Do you agree with those recommendations if one of these things comes into someone's house or lands in their yard, or they have to deal with it?
Yeah, look, I haven't seen that directive, but all that makes perfect sense to me as a former military person. If something like an aircraft of any kind lands in your backyard or close to you or your family, call the authorities. Don't approach it. You don't know what it is, and you don't know what kind of fuel might be on board. You absolutely should just call the authorities. Make sure you report it. Don't go near it. Don't touch it. You don't want to get hurt.
Okay. One last question for you, and it's in another area. It's in the Middle East, where obviously, John, there is a lot going on. There's a new headline in the Wall Street Journal today that suggests
Okay, yeah,
that
we'll stop this. I have to go to the bathroom, so let me see what's something good I could put on while we like go away for a second. Is our next story kind of a longer one? No. Those are all really short. Let me just find something good. If anyone has any recommendations, actually, you know what? Maybe the next story is. Yeah, I'll be back in the time of this. So I wanted to show this. We're just kind of exploring theories and whatnot, but this is the 4chan alien whistleblower from 2023. And some people online were saying that, hey, this kind of sounds like maybe what we're witnessing. So we'll kind of just run with that for a bit, but I'm going to play that and then I'll be right back, hopefully before it ends.
I have intimate knowledge of what the U.S. currently knows about UFOs minus the last 2 years. UFOs are primarily unmanned drones. UFOs are built to spec each time they are deployed. UFOs are created by a mobile construction facility that hides in the ocean. Construction facility destroys anything that comes close to it and will disappear for days when approached aggressively. U.S. believes the facility has been active on Earth for at least 100 years or much longer. Fire away on questions. I'll answer what I can. You won't be disappointed.
Is it related to that one under rock in that one Scandinavian country? The one that deploys within tectonic spaces?
No. This one almost never leaves the Bermuda Triangle.
Does this have any relation to Oumuamua? Is there a working theory on the origins? If so, care to elaborate? Has any form of intelligible communication been established?
No, quite a bit, but we think the construction facility has been around since at least 4000 BC. Sea sightings, paintings from the early eras of history. Yes, it also depends on your viewpoint. They mostly want very little to do with us until we start to talk about war and nuclear options. It's one of the reasons why you see them so often at critical events.
All right, I'm back.
What is the main body?
Yeah, we'll just keep on playing it from here. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting in the first part, right? I was kind of listening to too. He said it's like an AI facility off base that just kind of auto generates these things, which explains how they're so different. And one thing, and maybe we'll go through some of the videos of this, but I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. It appears to me that like these things are like, this would kind of make sense with some of the stuff we're seeing, because it seems like it's like almost AI trying to imitate like human stuff to not get caught. As dumb as and crazy as it sounds, so almost like some Transformer stuff is what I've seen, where like there's a few reports and videos out there of these things kind of like shape shifting or whatever, and then like it'll have the blinker lights and like look like a plane, but something will be wrong. There's been some pictures I saw where it was like a jet flying overhead, but only had one engine, or like the engine it had was like crooked. So it almost feels like an AI like trying and attempting to, but also clumsily failing to like imitate human craft to like be less conspicuous, I guess, or something. But who knows? Just thinking out loud here. But yeah, and again, this is just a 4chan thing. This could totally 100% and most likely is probably a LARP, but interesting nonetheless.
Of government that is collecting information on UFOs. The DoD, if so, which branch is the most active in collection of information?
It doesn't officially exist, and I won't use the internal name on here either.
Any relation to Antarctica?
My section monitored just this craft and any interactions it attempted. A previous co-worker did mention something in passing of Antarctica at one point, but I ignored it if I'm being honest. Talking about other projects is considered career suicide.
Do you know if the entities behind the UFOs are native to the Earth, like an older civilization, breakaway civilization, or a civilization of humans that escaped a previous cycle of cataclysm due to their advanced tech?
Limited expertise, since my role is more crafty analysis. US believes they are foreign to our world. A previous cataclysm could make sense. They also show up in times of strife such as natural events.
What were the main reasons for the crashes? I'd think random lightning or freak accident, seeing how advanced they are.
You'd be surprised how many mistakes they make, especially the further back you look. One area they seem to avoid, like the plague we suspect, is due to issues with gravity and flight. Before they figured it out, we collected quite a few mishaps there. They've tried to shoot some down mostly over nuclear incidents, but failed miserably.
Are they friends?
They cut their losses when crashes are recovered, same with personnel. Zookeepers aren't friends with the animals.
Can you tell us what they look like physically? Usual gray type or big ears?
Imagine the typical grays you see on TV. I've seen 2 corpses, so maybe there are different species, but I've never laid eyes on another.
Have you tried sending in a raft of hippies? The AI may not recognize them as a threat. Jokes.
Based on previous disappearances and acts of hostility, we believe the construction facility carrier has learned what is and isn't hostile, usually. It will just move away or stay deep under the water. It doesn't fire on civilian boats, for example. Exceptions apply. We have seen one or to go missing, usually after sharp turns, etc.
This is a strangely recurrent theme. At a minimum, to have psychotronic devices of some sort.
This reminded me of something in my first year. UFO crashes, they remove the bodies well before my team arrives. We start to look and the craft is unpowered at first. A few minutes later, the craft powers on and starts to close up. We radio out and get a response from the unit removing one of the occupants, alien, that they are working on it. Ship powers off and the other team asks if we are good to go. No mention of how access was possible. I suspect the pilot may have interfaced with the ship by remote or psionic ability.
What do you believe to be the reason for the uptick in sightings?
Once again, my knowledge was cut off about 2 years ago. If you mean very recently, my guess would be the Russians and US having a little secret dance amongst themselves. When nuclear anything gets involved, we see large deployments for long periods of time, strife. Seems to be the catalyst.
Do the UAPs return back to the manufacturing unit? What are the purposes of the UAPs? Surveillance of humans?
The US
Oh, I know
not-
why. That's why you couldn't hear me. Now you can probably hear me. I'm sorry. Okay. I was hella riffing on some good stuff, man.
Not here to harm us. They only seem interested in us once they realize we are destroying things around us, including each other. One of the officials in charge said something that stuck with me. They act like keepers of a zoo and interested in the daily life of wildlife until there's a problem.
Okay, I'm gonna play the beginning of that again,
I
where
have
you just kind of
intimate
says
knowledge
initial thing. One of the things I did honed in on was this part was like, why do you think there's so many crashes? This is one of the things you didn't hear me say. But he says, once again, to my knowledge, it was cut about 2 years ago. But if you mean very recently, my guess would be the Russians and US having a little secret dance among themselves. Anything nuclear gets involved, we see large deployments for long periods of time. And yeah, I'm so sorry for being muted, guys. That's how it goes. Learning. But yeah, and again, to reiterate what we've just watched, this is a 4chan link from about a year ago. I'm not saying in any ways it's accurate. It's probably most likely a LARP, but some people online were saying, hey, they kind of sound similar. So I thought, hey, maybe it's worth watching. Let's watch the beginning part again, because it's where he just kind of lays it all out.
I have intimate knowledge of what the U.S. currently knows about UFOs minus the last 2 years. UFOs are primarily unmanned drones. UFOs are built to spec each time they are deployed. UFOs are created by a mobile construction facility that hides in the ocean. Construction facility destroys anything that comes close to it and will disappear for days when approached aggressively. U.S. believes the facility has been active on Earth for at least 100.
I don't know. you know, just thinking out loud. Don't hold me to this if it all gets debunked. But I feel like it kind of, like again with the thing I was saying, which I don't even know if you guys heard me say that thing, but the whole mimicry thing, where it seems like these things are like attempting to, but like doing a really bad job, like almost like like stupidly like missing the mark on certain things. Almost like a kid like trying to like dress up as an adult or something like that. You know, like in the old movies and stuff. That's kind of what it seems like some of these drones are doing. It's like they're trying to look like human things, but they're just like looking a little clumsy and goofy, which is something kind of was also reported in Colares, Brazil. So maybe that's why they all look like this. And I don't know, maybe something nuclear is happening. That seems to be a theory going around too for people that are all in the NHI camp is like, hey, the aliens are preventing some kind of nuclear thing from happening. I don't know. Who knows? All right, let's take this down. Then I got something else queued up here. A bunch of stuff going on. Bunch of stuff. Oh, this is interesting from the Good Trouble Show. Let's share this real quick. Matt Ford of all people, Lou Crew person. He says sources have informed the Good Trouble Show that the Biden administration is in complete meltdown crisis mode as they try to mitigate the New Jersey drone crisis. The Biden administration, particularly National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and the National Security Council, are lying to Americans about what they know. It's a crisis of their own making. I think they definitely are lying. Yeah, reported in Germany too. I think they're definitely lying about what they know, for sure. Let's watch. This report was really interesting. Actually, let's just go through my feed. Let's just go through my feed real quick. What do we got? Okay, so people were saying that this was a contrail, but honestly, guys, I don't know. I feel like there's been a lot of quote unquote debunks and explaining away of some of these videos coming out of New Jersey that to me do not pass the sniff test or whatever you want to call it, the smell test. People are like, that's clearly a contrail, Red. And again, I'm sorry, like this is filmed vertically. I think this is as big as we can get it on here, but he does kind of zoom in and stuff. But let's just watch this.
Look at this motherfucker. Look at him spraying. Look at that. Look at that. He is spraying the sky again. Bro, this is fucking crazy, man. Look at this guy.
So I rewatched this a few times because we were like, oh, it's contrails. Now at this point, I'm wondering, what the hell is this thing? I'm not saying it is or it's not, but like, is this a potential of like a human body being like abducted or some shit right now that we're witnessing? Like, rewatch because when you watch it the first time, you kind of miss it, but like, keep an eye on this little thing as we like look at what's going on here. I don't know, but the other thing too is at the end here, you'll see like his whole neighborhood is full of them. So that's why when people are like, hey, that's just a plane, bro. It's like, look at his whole neighborhood. There's like 5 in this video alone, all over his exact neighborhood. So it's either to me, it looks like it's actually discharging something, and it looks like it has its own like movement even after it leaves. But let's just watch it again. I don't know if it's a plane. It's a plane. I apologize, but again, like I said here, look at his neighborhood is full of them. Okay, we'll watch it in full here.
Look at this motherfucker. Look at him spraying. Look at that. Look at that. He is spraying the sky again. Bro, this is fucking crazy, man.
And that's the other thing too. People are like, that's a contrail for sure. The guy here says he's spraying the sky again. Like he witnessed this exact thing and he's witnessing it again. Maybe he is, but he's the one who's actually there in the neighborhood where there's all these fucking drones over. Like, I don't know what to
Look at this guy. They're spraying the skies. Look, he just sprayed that. This guy. This guy just sprayed that. Look at this motherfucker.
I don't know, guys. Is contrail cope? Maybe it is. Maybe it is a contrail. Let's all just go full Biden White House press staffer with it. That's totally a contrail, bro. Totally normal that his neighborhood is literally littered like 6 of these freaking imitating UFO orb things. It's contrail, bro. Okay, it's contrail. I apologize. What do we got here? Oh, I just I retweeted this too. I'm probably gonna have to delete this part from the stream after the fact, but this is from the Obama movie Leave the World Behind. And I always felt like this part of the movie, and if you don't remember, that movie is basically like came out in 2023. You don't really know what the hell's going on in it. Maybe I should play a trailer for it. Maybe a trailer would kind of be good. And I'll try and talk about it as I think. But basically, to me, it just shows like a bunch of like destabilization things happening in America at the same time. And the Obamas made it. It's kind of weird. They also have potentially, or maybe making a Betty and Barney Hill movie, which is about alien abductions. Let's watch the trailer first and see if they copyright strike us. This will just be a live. People who were here live will get to enjoy it. Let's see. But yeah, basically, it's about. And in my opinion, this is one of those movies where it's like, this is the best, I think, thing for Americans to watch when trying to understand what happened in countries like Guatemala, because like so many things, we were flooding their areas with all this stuff, and that's how we were able to destabilize that country, which also makes me think, and Science Bob has thought on Twitter and whatnot, that maybe this is China just like feeding into the UFO frenzy to like destabilize us to do their Taiwan take or something. Who knows? But they made this movie, the Obamas, about all this. And the thing about the movie is at the end of it, you don't even really know what's going on. You don't know if it's a war. You don't know if it's aliens attacking. You don't know what's behind all this weird shit happening. But let's see. First thing that goes weird is a boat just kind of loses track of things and just crashes into the water. Kind of like that boat that happened in Baltimore. Just saying. Kind of weird that the Obamas made this movie. Just saying.
Everything is
interesting. Some kind of weird electromagnetic thing that is affecting people. And again, that bulletin, that official bulletin said that it interferes with electronics and whatnot. We've seen 2 videos where people's car radios are being affected. Like, it's not that big of a stretch to think that those same things affecting the electronics in the car could affect the humans that's right by the car. Another crazy scene in the thing. Maybe we'll pull up a few scenes from it. But yeah, all these like Teslas just kind of go rogue, it seems like, or get hacked or something like that. Interesting. I'm gonna stop it there. The reason I showed that though too is because there was this one scene that I went out and tweeted and clipped today. Where I was like, I don't know. I feel like this was Obama trying to talk to people. I don't know. Maybe not. Here we go. Share this tab instead. We're doing it live. Woo. Boom. Okay. So this is like the scene when like the guy, the other main character, is just kind of like giving the lowdown to Julia Roberts as best he can. And again, it's like, I don't know. Was Obama trying to tell us something in this movie? I don't know. Revelation of the method. Who knows?
So he takes me to a study.
Conscious Obama trying to give a message to the American people via a film he made on Netflix. Who knows? Who is a revelation of them? Is it a cult Obama revelation of the method? Edwin started with the super sticker. Thank you, sir. €5. Oh yeah. And again, I don't know. I just always found it weird that Obama's made that movie. I mean, like, is it not a weird movie for like? First of all, when was the last time? When did ex-presidents making movies become a thing? And then like, of all the movies it to be about, like this is what we're making movies about. Okay, maybe you know, who knows? Here's another video that came out last night. It's pretty interesting. Pretty, you could kind of see it. Well, I don't know if there's sound though. You can kind of see and this is what he had on the thumbnail here. One of the craft flying overhead. Yeah, so sorry, no sound on this one, but you could see it. We'll put on some background music for everyone. So let's look at that. Kind of interesting, huh? This reminds me of the 97, which I had as the thumbnail thing. This reminds me of, look at that. Maybe it's a plane. Maybe it's not. What do you guys think it is? Is it a plane? Did we get bamboo? I mean, this is happening. People are saying there's like hundreds of these things a night though, guys. Like, and we've already heard the reports from my little montage of like, they can't track these things. They can't. I don't know, man. There's a lot of really. I think. I don't know. It's not more time. Well, Patty Bew asked, why aren't people flying up their own drones to get a closer look? Well, apparently that's been happening, and maybe we'll cut to that real quick. Actually, you know what? I think we have that in my montage. I think it allows me to like cut around too. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just play my little montage again, just to the part where she's talking about people have tried, and this is what they report.
Here over at Picatinny, there was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, you know, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Oh, actually...
You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that?
That little shape-shifting thing. Let me just play another one too on that I saw that was kind of like shape-shifting looking. Yeah, let's play that for a bit. Will Brown with the $10 super sticker. Thank you, Will. Interesting. Okay. We're moving all around here, guys. We're doing it live. Okay. Maybe we'll just run through actually on my backup channel, and this is a great time to plug my backup channel. If you're not subscribed to my backup channel, you definitely want to go do that. It's where we're just putting like a lot of the straight clips of these things that we cover and stuff too, just to kind of keep track of it all. And then we also have a bunch of like, I've been running this for about 2 months or so, trying to fill it up, just like little moments and spaces and stuff like that, or statements from politicians. This is all before I think the current flap here. And also a lot of the old historical stuff that I have on my personal archive. I've been making a UFO documentary since like 2018. But let's look at the shorts here. We're just gonna run through them, I guess. So yeah, this is the weird noises that people are reporting. Here's one of the interesting videos reported, I think 2 nights ago or a night ago.
It's terrifying. That's a UFO. No, is that it's really moving. It's moving. What is that? What is that? What is that? It's a UFO. So, are you videoing? Yeah. What? That's like a UFO.
So freaked out right now. God, this is terrifying.
That's
This one I was like on the fence about, but I was like, I don't know. Let's just watch it. This one's probably fake, but it kind of to me that if these things are like shape shifting, this is the best capture of it. Because then when it's done shape shifting, it does look like what we'd end up seeing all around. Who knows?
These are much more valuable types of crops, and you got to be a lot more careful around them. And it really hasn't been until recently that technology has advanced to the point where we can do these kinds of things in these very, very tight spacing, very precious crops around us as we're navigating through and doing those pre and post harvest work. That's Autonomy's co-founder and CEO Tim Hooper. The last 40
Kind of reminds me of the MH370 video a little bit. So maybe they're both real, maybe they're both fake. Maybe the MH370 video was the Orb Sphere network that Patrick Jackson talks about. That is that AI thing that the Red 4chan whistleblower talks about. And they killed all those Chinese scientists because they were going to develop some kind of nuclear technology. And maybe the US and China are about to go to war or something, and then now they're trying to do it again. It's like they have some kind of like AI breed the future thing, and they're like, can't let that happen. Who knows? Just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud.
Ag Information Network has been the source of news for farmers and ranchers.
See, no, that looks like it's like trying to be a little like blinking FAA compliant little light in the sky. Kind of weird. Who knows? This one's probably fake, but I don't know. Do not know. See, now look at it. Now it looks like an airplane underneath, right? Yeah, let's see what else we got here. That's kind of hard to see. These drones are flying over Woodbridge. These drones were flying over Woodbridge, New Jersey between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Sunday, 12/8. They would often stop moving and make a straight line and just hover. I'm on a flight path, so no one So no one in my other videos, you can see it hovering, and you see a plane flying by. So these are not planes. Also, these tend to move slower than planes, and the lights flash a lot faster than the green and red light does on a plane's wings. That's what that says. Okay.
What the heck are we seeing? Sounds like it's an actual. What is what? It's like landing. Honey. What is that? You get that? I am. It's like landing. Nobody else sees this? Are we crazy? I have it on video. Are we crazy? It's like
Guys, so many videos like this. This is crazy. What a time to be alive. Let's see. We got something else pulled up here next. We got the News Nation reporter, who I'm going to try and get on here at some point. He's out there in the mix, dude, but he saw something, and now he seems a little shook about it. I wanted to watch his little report. Here we go. Okay. Doom. All right, here we go. Boom. Boom. Okay, let's watch this.
Rich McHugh went out drone hunting in New Jersey. He did not come back empty-handed. Rich, tell us what you saw.
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights.
I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones.
Huh. Interesting.
Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50.
50 came off the ocean, guys.
That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat.
And remember, we have a congressman who said that that Iran is behind the mothership. Let's just play this meme real quick.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones. It's everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources.
What a crazy time to be alive. And by the way, Anna Paulina Luna is right. That congressman, whatever his name is from whatever state, I think actually New Jersey, he's standing by that. And Anna Paulina Luna, who's been like a UFO bae around these parts, is like standing by him. So I don't, does Anna Paulina Luna think that Iran has a mothership off the East Coast? Who knows?
And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. Wow. And more than a month since these reports started, the federal government doesn't know what they are either.
What's your message to the White House?
My message is come to the Jersey Shore. I know it's wintertime, but
Let's come to the Jersey Shore, baby.
come see what we see, and then, maybe have a better appreciation for why our residents are concerned.
The Ocean County Sheriff, that drone unit, they have an industrial grade drone. They put it up. They were tracking one of these drones, Elizabeth, and they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So, to me, it's if this is not our military, then it's even more scary, and we need the answers, frankly.
The guy was having some ontological shock there at the end. I retweeted it. We're gonna try and get him on. Manifest it, guys. We could do it. All right, we're gonna now. If you guys have anything you want me to play, let me know. There's a few more reports I wanted to play. Let's see. I did want to play the one. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's play this real quick. Some from around the UFO community. What are some things happening around the UFO community? First, let's go to Julian Dorey, because he had tweeted out some. He explains it all real quick, because he's actually in New Jersey, right? And he talks to like a bunch of UFO people, counter-intel people on his podcast. So let's just see what he had to say.
And why my following is much. All right. So regarding that tweet I put out earlier, I do feel like I have to follow that up with a video here. This is exactly why I stay away from tweeting a lot of news-related stuff on Twitter and or on X, whatever it's called now, and why my following is much lower here than it is on YouTube, because A, things get taken out of context, and B, when I'm being a dumbass and doing multiple things at the same time and firing something off that I don't think many people are going to see, and then they do, it's a problem, and that's my bad. So what I said in the tweet, if you did not see it, I'm not reading it verbatim right now, but it basically said, what I'm hearing about these drones is very creepy, according to some of the sources I'm talking to. What I can say right now is that they're definitely not aliens, right? So everyone I've spoken with, that mostly seems to be the takeaway. They're like, it's not aliens. I have spoken with more people since I fired off that tweet, though. If you've ever seen my podcast before, not necessarily the people who've been on the podcast, but you can imagine some of the people you get access to because of the people I know on there. So, do with that what you will. But yeah, I would say personally, these sources are really good. The guys I've spoken to since the tweet went off were very much off the record and very insistent on being off the record on what they were saying. But I don't want to totally blue balls you guys. What I will say is that I live in New Jersey. I'm not like getting in my car and driving west right now, and I'm not crazy concerned about this or anything like that. What it appears to me to be is more of a situation of massive incompetence on the part of the government at this point at many levels, if not one or two, but either way. And this should have been nipped in the bud. Everyone has said this. It should have been nipped in the bud right away and taken care of, and it hasn't been. So if that changes and this does turn into something, which I'm going to continue working the phones and trying to figure out what's what, I will let you guys know for sure right on here, anything I can on the record. And if someone tells me something where it's like, this is obviously like a 5-alarm fire or something for some reason, you'll know right away. But I don't anticipate that. I think we're all going to be all right. Everyone have a great fucking Christmas. I am working on doing a podcast on this, but every single person I spoke to today is not in a position to be able to come on the podcast yet. When and if that changes, we will do one ASAP. I want to make sure I get someone eminently qualified to do this with me. I know I was just on the phone with Justin Michael.
Oh, shoot. We're going to get Lou and Julian Dorey. Let's go. Lou is headed to Jersey, y'all.
Drone sightings have been reported above critical infrastructure. He added that their presence appears nefarious in nature.
I don't know who could have possibly done this.
And it gets even worse. Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their home.
It's kind of unsettling. They're not up for 15 minutes. They're up for hours. Some are very big, probably the size of a car.
Mike Walsh says he's seen hundreds of them.
Muted. I think that's Julian, right, saying that he's trying to get Lou Elizondo on. Let's play that back.
And this does turn into something, which I'm going to continue working the phones and trying to figure out what's what. I will let you guys know for sure right on here, anything I can on the record. And if someone tells me something where it's like, this is obviously like a 5-alarm fire or something for some reason, you'll know right away. But I don't anticipate that. I think we're all going to be all right. Everyone have a great fucking Christmas. I am working on doing a podcast on this, but every single person I spoke to today is not in a position to be able to come on the podcast yet. When and if that changes, we will do one ASAP. I want to make sure I get someone eminently qualified to do this with.
Someone eminently qualified to do that. He's trying to. That's a Lou callback, right? That's totally a Lou callback. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
I know. I was just on the phone with Jesse Michaels. That's not one of the sources.
But that's literally the meme I made, right? It's like Lou driving to Jersey. Like, let's go. Like a psychic red. Just saying.
But maybe if Jesse comes through town, he and I could do one where we talk about it. But we're going to be speculating just like the rest of you because Jesse doesn't know what the hell's going on, just like I do. So anyway, that said, sorry for blue balls and everyone. If this is how you met me, my bad. But we put out a podcast today with David DeJong, who uncovered a lot of secret Nazi money.
Now let's see what who is next. Yeah, Ryan Bledsoe. We're just gonna get all the takes right now. Let's see what Ryan Bledsoe had to say about everything going on. If you don't know, if you guys are totally out of the loop and you're not into UFOs, you might be totally lost right now. His dad is a quote unquote experiencer. If you don't know, you don't know. Sorry, you're gonna be super confused. But we'll just see what he has to say.
The beings are beginning to appear around the world to warn the powers that be. Don't try it. Don't try nuclear warfare. Don't do anything to cause mass casualties and suffering and fear. This is something that I've known was going to happen for a long time, and it's why I've been doing the podcast, Bledsoe Said So, because these beings communicated to us that in the future there will be an era, let's just say, where they appear to the masses and basically make their presence known here. This is the Great Awakening. It's beginning to unfold. I believe that we genuinely have shifted into the age of Aquarius as of this year. As a matter of fact, I think it was the eclipse back in April. And I think over the next year to a year and a half, maybe 2 years, we're going to have a shocking sequence of events unfold that are going to incite mass hysteria and chaos. I think that the majority of the world, the masses, are going to be terrified at all of this great and unprecedented change that's unfolding. But you, who are aware of this and know the reality of the phenomenon and that it is a very spiritual and benevolent thing, have the privilege of understanding that what is happening is good, that it is something that is necessary for us collectively to grow as a species. They are guiding us to a new way of thinking. Now, the media is very sick. They're very evil. They're like parasites that want to feed on our fear and on our suffering. So they're going to do everything they can to perpetrate this narrative that everything is bad, it's the end of the world, there's negativity, and all this horrible mumbo jumbo. And that's where the hysteria comes into play. They're going to do everything they can to convince you that the phenomenon is evil, that it's biological, physical, monsters, try to convince you that they are invading our world. Maybe they're slipping a little bit of exotic tech in there, fixed wing craft in New Jersey with blinking lights on it to confuse people, maybe monitor the orb situation. But the reality is, we are now in a new epoch. We are shifting into a new epoch where.
That was great. Maybe for a little bit of brevity, we'll do some quick little run to Cosmic Judas. Let's see what Cosmic Judas has been up to. He's a great meme maker in the community because he did make this meme of Ryan's thing. Here we go.
Appear around the world to warn the powers that be. Don't try it. Don't try nuclear warfare. Don't do anything to cause mass casualties.
Merry Christmas. Don't try it.
For a moment, mankind wasn't singular. Maybe just for a moment, it's mankind's plural.
Oh. Are the Wookiees coming, y'all? Is that what's next? Is that what the next stage of this this imminent invasion is? Okay, what else did I want to show you? Oh, actually, I did want to show you this. Actually, that's great. Let's go back to to Lou Elizondo on Joe Rogan. Just where he kind of talks about before all this went down. He talks about that whole invasion thing, and I recommend too if you're curious about this whole invasion narrative. I did a stream about a month or two ago with Doomer, Tupa, Fringe, where you just went over all the disclosure people and all the weird kind of Doomery invasion stuff they've said. Go watch that if you're looking for more stuff about all this stuff. But here's Lou on Rogan, in August or September? So right before this all kind of started kicking, because probably gonna get knocked out. But yeah, so that was back in the day there. I think there's a few more things I wanted to show you, and then we're going to wrap up here. Some of the more stuff around the world. I think we played this last time, but we're going to play it again. And I did clip it. These are being reported now in Minnesota. Then I'm going to play some Oregon, and then I'm going to play some San Diego, just so you guys see it's happening all around the world, too. Give me one moment. Did I show you guys this yet, too? Let's just watch it. Sure, listen.
County 25. What was the exact call? That this wasn't actually saw it crash or heard it crash?
Per the caller, a drone fell out of the sky by the power lines behind their house. And then 10 more showed up. 24. Damn.
So drone reports that a drone fell out of the sky, and then 10 more showed up. Interesting. All right, that was a radio dispatch call. Where's the one I wanted to watch here? Oh, do I not? Where did I'm pretty sure I should. Actually, here's something interesting too. This is I believe a senator or something from New Jersey. Last night I went with local police to spot drones flying over New Jersey. Here's what I saw. We drove to Round Valley Reservoir, and the officer pointed the lights moving low over the tree line. Sometimes they were solid white lights, others flashed of red and green, a thread. So let's see. So the senator who went out there to go investigate himself, they saw stuff.
I've never seen that. Wow, they just passed each other. Yeah, I've never seen that before. We get them. Yeah, I've never seen that. That's really convincing. They're coming this way. Oh, they are getting closer.
I feel for the people who are like filming and it's like hard to get something, but let's see what else. He's got more in the thread. We orientated ourselves with a flight tracker app to help us distinguish from airplanes. We often saw about 5 to 7 lights at a time that were low and not associated with aircraft we could see on the tracker app. Some hovered while others moved across the horizon. Wow.
Yeah, that one right straight ahead. What are they doing?
Wow.
We have family.
All right, let's see. We saw a few that looked like they were moving in small clusters of 2 to 4. We clearly saw several that would move horizontally and then immediately switch back in the opposite direction in maneuvers that planes can't do.
The one low looks pretty close, right? So this one's gonna fly over us right now. You think so? Okay.
Wow.
They got a good shot of what it.
Guys, there's like a couple that are gonna just fly right over. There's a couple that fly right over.
Wow. Fascinating. Let's continue through the thread here. The police officer said they see them out every night. They only seem to start when it gets dark and they disappear before dawn. They get reports that they sometimes fly low over homes, especially up on the hills. That's what. Wow. The officer said they've tried to get closer with the use of helicopter, but that the drones would turn off the lights and go dark if approached. The parking lot at the reservoir had a number of cars, people coming to take a look for themselves. Several shared with me their own stories, having seen some up close. One described them being the size of the hood of a car. I went to multiple locations across Hunterdon County to get different vantage points. This is a more rural part of New Jersey. It's uncertain why it's one of the more active areas for reported activity. We are seeing reports through other parts of the state. Any images or video footage people get, the police urge them to submit to the FBI. But I haven't gotten any follow-up yet from the FBI on their investigation and what they've compiled. Homeland Security Secretary briefed last week on new technologies that they were deploying, but we need details on what those efforts have yielded and if more resources are needed. If they haven't fully identified the devices yet, we should know what is being done. This has gone on for weeks. It's hard to understand how, with the technology we have, we aren't able to track those devices to undermine. Oh, look at Mick. Let's see what Mick said. That has gone on for weeks. And this makes it much more concerning about our capabilities more broadly when it comes to the drone detection and countermeasures. I'll continue to track these developments and share as much as possible to the people of New Jersey that deserve more answers than they're getting at the end. Can we get the exact times of these videos? And then here's Mick with the debunk, ready to go. Here's what the senator-elect was standing and the direction he was looking in. There's a vast amount of air traffic that could explain what he was seeing. You saw planes, bud. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay. What did I want to show you guys next? Okay, I think this is maybe what I was... This is the report, I think, out of Minnesota. Just to show you guys that it's happening all over. Let me make sure I got the present view. Boom.
Here where you can kind of see.
Okay. This is you guys can see that. Great. Yeah, this is in Minnesota.
One or two orbs kind of hovering, floating around. At times they move, eventually disappear. What are they? No one knows.
We started trying to follow them, but they won't be followed. They're kind of like they disappear.
Deborah Wagner doesn't know what she keeps seeing over her Northfield home.
And then these things, whenever anybody would kind of come towards them, they'd back off.
But her daughter, Chrissy Grady, sees them too.
Are these UFOs? Are they a government thing? Like, what are they?
It's really low.
I know it is.
We gotta follow it. There's another one up there.
Oh, crap.
Chrissy and her kids took this video when they saw flashing lights that moved away after they spotted them.
Well, it obviously sees me. I gotta pretend like I'm actually driving. Watched both of them. So now there's 4.
They started seeing the lights over the summer, and now it's a nightly thing.
They would come and kind of like hover, and then we would go outside, and then they would leave.
About 1,000 miles away in New York and New Jersey, this is what people are seeing in the skies. Eyewitnesses say they look like SUV-sized drones, and those sightings now have even the White House's attention.
Obviously, this is something that DHS and FBI are tracking very, very closely.
Well, I don't want it to come closer.
As for what Chrissy and her mother, Deborah, keep seeing here in Minnesota, well, they don't know.
Right now, just the unknown is driving us crazy and making us mad.
But they do know what you're probably thinking.
I was like, oh man, everybody's gonna think, oh, go have another glass of wine, Mom.
Go to this one report out of Germany. I haven't even watched this one yet, but let's see.
A series of suspicious and unusual sightings of drones near the U.S. bases in Germany has put policymakers and military officials on the edge. Unidentified drones have been sighted over sensitive industry locations and the U.S. airbase at Ramstein in Germany in recent weeks. This, as per the Spiegel News magazine report. The magazine has cited a confidential report by the German security authorities. Now, according to Spiegel, the report by German authorities flagged various drone sightings made in the evening hours of the 3rd of December, the 4th of December, over the airbase. A security source told Reuters that the report on drone sightings over Ramstein was correct. The German Defense Ministry declined to comment on the report.
Well, there you have it, in Germany too. So what's that, Montana or Minnesota, Germany? Now let's go to got a few more left. I wanted to do San Diego and Oregon. So let's do San Diego first. Here's the local report out of San Diego.
New tonight, after a wave of mysterious drone sightings in New Jersey, people are concerned and demanding answers, but the government isn't saying much. Now, similar sightings are being reported here in San Diego and across Southern California. CBS 8's Brian White has the details.
This is over my house right now. What is that?
It's a question puzzling New Jersey residents looking up at the sky.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Since last month, dozens of drones mysteriously hovering in the Jersey skies at night. Olivia DiMatteo owns a coffee shop near where the drones have been spotted.
They are the size of small cars, like almost like a Mini Cooper or a Ford Escape size.
There is a bunch of red lights
floating in the sky.
This video was taken by archaeologist Colin Rambo a couple of weeks ago in Lemon Grove.
I was driving down the street, just right down the street from my house here, and I pulled my car over because I saw what looked like a fleet of glowing red orbs.
Last night, someone called our CBS 8 newsroom with reports of a large drone sighting above the SR 125 freeway.
There are drones all over the sky.
And this video was taken 3 nights ago in Temecula.
We eventually...
Not too far, y'all. I don't think we're going to have to fly to New Jersey to investigate the current flap, guys. It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
It's all one, like, really, like, fairly close. And it was just, about the size of a car. We were at some points right under them, and there was no noise at all.
Music artist and producer It's Nomad Music said these didn't seem like regular planes or helicopters.
They'll be going just straight one direction, and then all of a sudden they'll just zag and then keep going, or turn around, or they just break really quick.
I reached out to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. They confirmed the drones were not law enforcement's, and a spokesperson for Camp Pendletan told me they're aware of recent drone activity in surrounding communities, but that, quote, no military unmanned aerial systems training or activity has occurred during the time or place in question. Meanwhile, in
okay, that's interesting that they said this, right? Because it's San Diego County. And I'll just say what I've heard behind the scenes. Who knows if it's real or if it's fake? I've heard that the U.S. military has dispatched drones from this space specifically, 4 of them, 2 to Big Bear, 2 to Oregon and Medford, which we'll watch next, and that the 2 dispatched to Medford did not return. So that this whole idea of like they haven't engaged them or not, I've heard behind the scenes again. I'm not saying it's true or not. I don't know. Who knows? But, being in the position I'm in, some people do tell us stuff or we hear things. I've heard that they've definitely launched stuff from here that didn't come back. So it's interesting that this base specifically is putting out a statement saying, no, nothing happened here. Like, did anyone really ask? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just about that, but it's kind of interesting. Let's see what we got next. We got this Oregon stuff next. Let's go. So that's San Diego and Oregon.
Pilots reported mysterious bright lights zipping through the skies above Oregon this past weekend. On Sunday night, a United Airlines pilot radioed air traffic control after spotting the unexpected lights in the Eugene area.
We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. They're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy.
A Life Flight pilot reported one of the lights was going in circles in a corkscrew pattern and showed up on his aircraft's collision avoidance system.
It's red in color, moving at extreme speeds. I don't even know how to describe how fast it's moving.
You are cleared to maneuver as necessary, left and right, to avoid the UFO out there.
Several brief videos.
This is from Oregon, guys. It's funny. These ones, both of them aren't too far for me, to be honest. It's yeah.
Area left and right to avoid the UFO out there.
What do you guys think, Chad? If Oregon and San Diego both pop off, which one should I go boots on the ground? Let me know.
Several brief videos taken by pilots and their crews showed lights in the night sky, but they're difficult to see because of the dark conditions.
It's weird. It's a red circular shape, and it keeps zipping out towards the ocean and then coming back in about 20 miles or closer to us, and then it zips back out of the ocean and we can't see it.
2 Horizon airline pilots also reported seeing mysterious lights, according to air traffic control, who confirmed there was no military activity in the area. So what could it be?
That appears like Starlink satellites, most likely.
Dr. Douglas
classic,
Bittner,
classic Starlink, bro.
led a study examining a similar case involving 5 pilots who spotted bright moving objects over the Pacific Ocean in 2022. Bittner and his colleagues determined the bright lights were flare from numerous Starlink satellites
a lie detector test
launched by SpaceX to provide broadband internet.
And literally all it is it's the sun is hitting the satellite just right, and it's being reflected back into your eye.
He believes the eye-catching lights spotted by pilots over Oregon were most likely satellite flares, although he hasn't ruled out other possibilities.
I need better.
Satellite flares.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se.
Better video, consistent video.
In August 2022, people in Oregon witnessed a string of Starlink satellites moving dramatically across the night sky. Last month, the Pentagon director overseeing unidentified anomalous phenomena told lawmakers the Defense Department has seen an increase in reported UAP sightings, especially since satellites such as Starlink were launched.
We do have one example that I'm aware of where we were able to correlate a number of observations of interesting lights in the sky, and eventually we concluded.
I think this is the last one I got. Unless you guys got something you want me to play, let me know. But if not, that's probably gonna be it for tonight. We're gonna try and go pretty much every night. Oh, 70 says San Diego, better weather, less cloud coverage. That's a good idea. Good idea.
I guess I'm just as curious as everybody else. I'd just like to know what it was we saw.
Lifelight pilot Joe Bewley has seen objects moving across the night sky before, including satellites and shooting stars. But the bright orange light spotted above the Eugene area was clearly different.
The biggest thing that stood out is it was changing directions. Usually things don't change directions.
Audio recordings captured his conversation with air traffic controllers.
It's red in color, moving at extreme speeds. I don't even know how to describe how fast it's moving.
You are cleared to maneuver as necessary, left and right, to avoid the UFO out there.
At least 4 commercial pilots spotted the same mysterious bright lights above Oregon this weekend.
We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. You know, they're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy.
Bewley said the lights showed up on his aircraft's collision avoidance system.
On my TCAS, traffic collision avoidance system, it's in one of my middle screens of the Platus. You can see aircraft on it usually. And I saw a target that would stop right on that ring, and before it would go back out over the horizon, disappear out over the horizon off the ocean.
So your aircraft's collision avoidance system was picking something up, and yet it wasn't showing up on other radar?
ATC said they couldn't see it.
Researcher Douglas Bittner believes the eye-catching lights may be reflection from Starlink satellites launched.
Was it the same one twice? No, I think because that first one didn't have the actual pilot interview, so that was cool that they were able to do a follow-up and talk to the actual pilot there. But yeah, there you guys have it, guys. Let's play this one more time. Let's run through our memes here. Let's run through the memes we got.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Drone sightings have been reported above critical infrastructure. He added that their presence appears nefarious in nature.
I don't know who could have possibly done this. And it gets even worse.
Have patience on me. Don't give up on me. I'm on cosmic time.
LAPD is asking Los Angelinos not
all right, guys. I think I'm probably going to close out here. Let's see what the comments say. If anyone wants to say Iron Launching, I think Robert, also Jim Quirk. Like and subscribe. Yeah, everyone like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to my backup channel too. Fun nights. We'll see you guys tomorrow. So much stuff happening every day. Got to go clip stuff. Got to go. It's been nonstop, guys. It's been nonstop. This has been crazy. This is since I've been into ufology since what, the 2018. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. This is crazy, guys. This is absolutely crazy. I guess with that being said, I'm gonna play my little montage that I like to close this out. And yeah, everyone have a great evening. Not to be dramatic, but like, and I probably should have done this better. But go, you know. The panic might, what if it turns into another COVID situation where everyone's panicking and doing bullshit? We don't know what these drones are doing. They're kind of acting weird. They're getting weirder. If you think it's a psyop, if you think it's aliens, if you think it's a foreign country, whatever it is, it's like unknown right now, and it could go many ways. So yeah.
U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct? That's right. It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes.
It's right here over Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Okay, you see it? You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that, bro? Did it just get smaller? Bro, what?
Above the ocean, and it was low, very low, but so bright and so clear, and it was huge. Like when you...
I'm concerned. I issued a letter to ask for more information, and I think there should be a lot more transparency about that.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
I understand why